Hey ManCavians, this is Bob from the Bob Zenskell ManCave, and today we're doing a review of the Athearn 4014 Big Boy. Just came out. I am kind of excited about this. I'm trying to see if they changed anything, made it better. There's a lot of little things in here that we need to take a look at. So let's get started with that right now. Well, here we have the Athearn Big Boy number 4014 in the oil tender configuration. This is currently being restored at the Cheyenne Roundhouse, and hopefully we'll see that on excursions in 2019. Now this model's been highly anticipated because of that, and it finally was released this month in 2017. It's highly detailed. It's always been very detailed in the previous versions. I'm not sure they really changed a whole lot between the last run and this one. I don't think they really made a whole lot of tooling changes, but we'll take a look at it closer. In fact, let's probably zoom in right now. And as you can see, that's some pretty good detail on the firebox. All the rivets are showing. And it comes with a book that explains the history of the Big Boy. It came in the previous versions too. They didn't change anything in the book that I noticed. All the parts are roughly the same. And they also have CV area there on the back for programming your sounds and other things in the locomotive. On closer view, you can see a lot of the detail, a lot of the piping, highly detailed. You can't get everything, of course, in a model, but you can see the cylinders and the rivets and all the long piping along the side. You saw the whistle, the 4014 paint on the side, the centipede tender, and it's oil. And on the other side, you basically have exactly the same thing as the other side, except for a couple valve wheels that are different. And it's a good looking model. I do enjoy it. The oil tender, I hope that ends up looking just like that, because they did a real good job. Now on the front, you can put a Microtrains coupler on the front, and that's described in the book as well. You can see the bell, nice gold paint on it, and the number boards are well positioned and lit. Well, not lit. Wish they were. But one thing that I'm missing here that I noticed is a handrail on the left side of this screen, right by the walkways. And there's one right there, but there's not one right here. And it's something I'm going to have to contact Athearn about to get a replacement part. Sometimes things like this happen, but it's only a handrail. And on the back side, you can see the detail of the rivets. You know, you can see the red paint that they put for some of the sight glasses to see how close to being full the tanks are. It comes with a Mchenry coupler made by Athearn. You can also replace that with a Microtrains if you would like, especially if it breaks or something. On the top there you have the water area where they fill the water up, and that comes with a optional wood planking. It's not real wood, but it's plastic, and it will fit right over the top of those 3 fill areas, and it goes right in there. On closer inspection on the top, you have the smokestacks And there is a screw in there because that helps hold down the thing. You have a safety valve right behind the smokestacks. And then you got a lot of piping. You got a lot of bumps up on top. You got the double and triple whistle. You know, they're not horns, they're whistles. So for you people there who think they're horns, they're not. Horns are on diesels. Very good detail on top. They did a really good job with their tooling, and you can see the top of the tender as well. A little bit different angle. And here it is from the back side, looking forward. Lots and lots of detail. Okay, this is one speed step out of 28. Not 128, 28. Barely moving. Make sure you got some clean track there. Let's go up to 2 and 3. A little jerky there. 4 and 5. Okay, let's check out the headlight. Okay, let's go through some of these sounds. You already heard the headlight. Let's try the bell. And the whistle. And the short whistle. F7 is a dimmer for the headlight. That does dim the headlight. And then we have F9, which is a squeal release. And we have F10, which is the coupler. And here's F11, which is the injector. And here's F12, water stop. And those are all the sounds that we have. Okay, we're going to do a ManCave pull test here. I have the Big Boy plus 32 pieces of rolling stock of various kinds. Boxcars, tankers, intermodal, and cabooses. And we'll see if it can pull it up my 2% grade Helix. Let's start off right now. Let's turn the sound on. And we're going to start off. came down to the point where it's going to be pulling everything up the hill. And it has no problem pulling 32 cars. This is definitely an improvement over the first Big Boy that I got last time. And I'll do a comparison pull here for you. This is only at 12. Let's speed it up a little bit. We're at full speed. .32 car seems to be pretty heavy for this 2% grade. The wheels on the locomotive are actually slipping. I'm going full speed right now, so pulling it up was a little bit hard. You can actually hear a little clicking, and that's coming from the locomotive because of the weight. I actually had to help the locomotive up the rest of the helix by pushing on some of the cars. But once it was up on the upper level, it worked fairly well, as long as you don't have a steep grade. You probably want to have probably half those number of cars. Probably stick with more of an excursion kind of set. Something that's not as heavy, because you'll just scrape all the rubber off your traction tires. There you go. That's been my review of the Athearn N-Scale Big Boy number 4014 in the oil tender configuration. This is a very sought after model because of the road number. The real one is being restored and should be ready, sometime in the next year and a half, 2 years. But if you want to find one, they're hard to find because they're sold out at Athearn. All the product has been shipped to dealers and stores around the country and the world. So trying to find one could be getting a little bit tougher. I happened to pick mine up at trainworld.com the other day, and so that was probably the only place I really found it for a good price still. You probably can still find it many other places out there. So take a look around, maybe at your local hobby store or at a train show near you. It's a very good model. However, I did have a couple issues. Was that the speed of the locomotive was not very good. They did not improve that at all. It still runs at about 35-40 miles an hour at top speed, and that's definitely not prototypical. But it will look and run just fine pulling a long string of cars around your layout. And probably should actually look better pulling an excursion set, because that's what this is going to be actually doing in the future in reality. So the other downside was that I was missing a handrail off the right hand side of the locomotive in the front on the pilot, and that is something I'll be contacting Athearn about to get a replacement part. So other than that, I love the model, and if you want one, go get one. So Without further ado, happy model railroading, ManCavians, and stay off them tracks. Bye. So if you like what you saw here today, go ahead and click subscribe down here below, or follow my Facebook, Google+, Twitter, and my Instagram, links down here below in the comments. Also, click on one of my other links for videos as well. As always, ManCavians, happy model railroading, stay off the tracks. Bye.